time now is 19 minutes to 9.
Now, if you've missed out on sleep in favour of spending time online, then chances are you could be due for a digital detox.
Now, we've both admitted to looking at our phones last thing at night, first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, research from the regulator Ofcom has found that a third of internet users have taken between a day and a month away from the web because they think they may have a bit of a problem. Almost 6 in 10 of those surveyed considered themselves hooked to their online devices. Well, we can now speak to Martin Talks, who's the author of A to Z of Digital Detoxing, and Christine Grant, an occupational psychologist at Coventry University, both joining us in the studio. Good morning.
Morning.
Got to ask you both, before you give us your opinions, do you think you spend too much time on your devices?
I think there's a danger of it, sometimes more than others.
You?
I moderate it.
You moderate it, so you're quite disciplined.
Yes, I would say
How
so.
do you moderate it then?
Yeah, I think it's important that you do understand your boundaries and you do understand yourself. So when you need to actually switch on and switch off, that's what you do. So obviously I have a very busy job, so I make sure that it doesn't go too far into my other life.
That's
and if it's
very
starting to do
disciplined.
that, then I try to switch off. I mean, it's not always possible, clearly, but I try to moderate where I can.
So, Martin, how do you get to the point? Because this survey has found people admitting, or at least looking at themselves going, I have an issue here, I need to step away. But how do you get to the point? What do you start saying to yourself when you say, actually, I'm in a bit of trouble here, it's gone a bit too far? What signs should you be looking out for?
Well, I think you've mentioned perhaps not sleeping very well. I think there's sometimes a feeling of a rather constant stress or anxiety that a lot of people feel. Perhaps a lack of productivity or creativity because you're always distracted and you're not giving yourself time to think through problems. Sometimes, you just don't feel you're good looking enough sometimes, because the media typically portrays perfect sort of images of people, and social media in particular does that. And in fact, we're complicit in that on social media because people are posting pictures of themselves that they actually adapt themselves to make themselves have longer necks or bigger eyes or whatever it is they think that makes themselves look better. So in fact, when people begin to think, is this the right thing to do? Am I not okay as I am? So I think these things combine and people begin to realise that maybe I need to do something.
Because everybody's been airbrushed, haven't they?
Yeah.
The difficulty, though, with internet use is actually it's really important now in our everyday lives, really useful for lots of people to connect them to the world. So it's not like, I don't know, when an alcoholic has to give up alcohol and just stops. It's a different thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, it's on there 24/7, so it's going to be available. So I think the important thing is that you know yourself, you're self-aware, and that you can do some self-regulation about how to manage, internet use, if you like.
You made the interesting point, Sally, earlier when we were talking about how much we use, that children these days, it would be really hard. We can't imagine ourselves going back to school when we didn't have the internet, doing homework or not being distracted by the internet. And so there's also almost a responsibility for us to set an example, i.e. not sitting at the dinner table with phones. I mean, one of the things in this survey said that, is it 6 out of 10 people have texted someone while having dinner in the same room?
In the same room.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that sort of thing goes on all the time. In fact, while
but
people are having
what
conversations,
are they
people are
saying?
looing at their phones as well.
Oh, yes, I've seen that. You see that in restaurants all over the place, don't you? It's really sad.
Yeah.
But I don't understand texting someone in the same room as you.
No, and I think that does need moderation, to use that word again. I think we do need to be more aware of what we are doing. And I think actually the Ofcom report does highlight that people are becoming much more sort of, what is going on. I've been researching this area for around 10 years, but now I think it is really coming to the fore.
OK, so what happens if you moderate yourself then? So, OK, Sally and I, we've decided we're going to take a whole day. You're taking a few days off, actually, when you go away.
Yeah.
A whole day off holiday, what would we recognise in ourselves that's changed or improved for the better?
Well, I lead various digital detoxing adventures, as I call them, through an organisation called Digital Detoxing. And I take people away, take their devices away, take them away for a day, a weekend, a week maybe. And the impact is more powerful than people expect because people have described it as a big breath of fresh air. They get that sense of connecting with the world around them, with each other, with themselves. And I think you'll be surprised the impact of it. So the Ofcom report says 15 million people have taken some sort of digital detox break, and I imagine a lot of them have felt those effects.
Wow.
So it's encouraging.
Well, looking forward to that. My next holiday is no signal, no Wi-Fi, no electricity.
You're going to come back a completely new woman.
Yes, I will.
And I think that's important. I think it's also important to note that some job roles do need to sometimes have access to the internet whilst away. And I think it is about managing that, managing the relationships and letting people know that that's what you might be doing.
Okay.
So
I think that's a particular issue, work, just to comment on that, because I think, we are expected by a lot of workplaces to be always on and connecting, even at weekends, holidays, etc. France is about to bring in regulation banning the out-of-hours email.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what that impact is. But, they're really taking quite a high-level view on this. So
if I might just comment on that, just say that not really one size fits all. I think we're looking for solutions.
It doesn't. And usually, talking about sizes and fitting, time
Yeah.
wouldn't work for us. It's gone. Christine Martin, thank you so much.
Thank you.